Hello and welcome to the International Pentagon Challenge. My name is Kyanite and together we'll be embarking on a very special Football Manager journey where we'll aim to try and win every major international competition in all 5 continents, forcing our hand to play with hundreds of different types of players and most importantly hopefully create loads of awesome different types of tactics along the way. Once that's complete, only then are we allowed to set our sights on the biggest of all goals, the FIFA World Cup. How many nations will we have to manage until we work our way to the top? How many dodgy names will we have to pronounce along the way? So hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hopefully we're going to have a lot of fun along the way. Alright, hello everyone and welcome to episode 89 of the International Pentagon Challenge. And here we are, 2036 Nations League final. We're Spain, we're up against the Italians, and to be honest, I'm looking forward to it. Don't like playing against the Italians, but we have had some decent results against them in the past in general. I think the best result really against the Italians was when we managed Egypt and beat them in what I think was a group match at one of the World Cups. So yeah, let's take a look at what we're doing tactically. Okay, so we're sticking to really the 4-3-3 approach because like I said, against stronger teams I prefer to play 4 at the back. That way we have a direct fullback in relation to the opposition winger. And Italy are playing with a 4-2-3-1. Now normally when you think of the Italians, you think of really hard-working players, defensively strong players that play direct counter-attacking football. But this Italian side seems to be very different from that according to our scouting report. We will obviously see as the game progresses whether or not that scouting report is right or not. So basically, it seems evident that 6 out of the 18 assists they've conceded have been from their right-hand side, which is why Jimenez comes into the side out on the left to play as a winger, because he is really pacey, is Jimenez. 16 acceleration, 15 pace, and we can swap him with La Cueva as the half progresses and the opposition right-back tires if we need to. And really, they've got a very poor work rate and very poor physicals, so I do feel like going a little bit more direct against a team like the Italians, who really the only main physical players in their team are Canare, who again is that player that I always, every time we play against him, describe him as the N'Golo Kante-esque style player, and the 2 centre-backs. I'm not impressed with their full-backs at all, and I really do feel like it's something we can look to exploit. I'm actually going to increase that a little bit. So the main changes we've made, we've upped our tempo a little bit, and we've increased our passing directness by not aiming to retain possession, basically. We'll start off on a standard mentality, see where that takes us. Antony is a box-to-box rather than a role, what's it called? Roaming playmaker. I was going to say role-playing midfielder for some strange reason. Because I think that'll basically try and get him in the box more to help these guys out once Jimenez whips the ball into the box. In terms of personnel changes, Miguel Soler comes in simply because Miguel, I just realised one's Miguel Soler and one's Miguel bloody Nora. Because Miguel is feeling a little bit tired. If we really need a goal, we can throw him on because of his 200 height and 20 jumping reach and see if he can give us something from a set piece. We could risk Manzanek if we are really struggling for a goal and opt to play him. And it was obviously Raul that got dropped despite his amazing performance. Simply due to the type of system we're looking to play. Here we go then, Spain versus Italy, and this is our first ever Nations Cup final. Like I said earlier on in the video, we always tend to have some decent results against Italy whenever we play them. I mean, we had them in our Nations group when we were managing England and did well against them. I think we beat them twice, which was nice, and we beat them at a World Cup with Egypt. So I'm really hoping now that we can you know, deliver the... Why is King Julian just dribble the ball outside the pitch? I'm really hoping that, you know, we can put pedal to the metal and get another win up against the Italians with our brand new Spanish team. Like I said, work rate isn't great, defensively not great, not the most physical of sides, but if there's one thing this Italian side are good at, it's the technical ability on a lot of the players. It's kind of like the tables have turned we've got more Italian-esque players, pacey, looking to play on the counter in this particular case, which is very similar to how the Italians play in real life. Whilst the Italians are the ones with the very kind of technical players who really play more similar to how Spain have become known to play in real life. But anyways, here we go. We have looked a little bit dodgy in the past few minutes, Teresi to Canare, but you can't help but feel like if we can win the ball... Oh, what a save from Villanova. What a save. That was unbelievable. I thought that was a goal we were going to concede. Bonkers, that. Absolute bonkers from Villanova. I think we're going to go a little bit more balanced just to try and tighten things up a little bit because the Italians have suddenly sprung to life. But what a save. Brilliant reaction from Villanova. And this is the kind of opportunity where we can look to take advantage. Soler tried to play it down the line there towards Julian, but we've not had much luck actually trying to feed Julian. I think we may have to take a look at our man marking of the opposition wingers because it is resulting in us defending a little bit deep, and it's allowing these wing backs to get a lot of leeway. And that's good in a way because we want them to vacate that space behind them, but due to the man marking instructions we have when we do win the ball back, we don't really have an outlet on that particular side of the pitch, and Jimenez has just missed, as the commentator said, an absolute sitter. So we are approaching that 30th minute mark, and I still don't really feel like we really need to make a change. I still feel like we need to see more. Unfortunately, so far with Spain, despite playing on comprehensive highlights... Go on. Oh, he's hit the bar. Oh, unlucky King Julian. To me, it feels like one of them games where both teams have quality players, are going to get chances. It's going to come down to basically the team that take a chance first. And, believe it or not, feel like I would like to see the fullbacks get involved a little bit more, but I don't want them to dedicate too much. So what we're going to do is we're going to go attacking and go a little bit more expressive. Let's just see if prior to the end of this first half, in these last 10 minutes, we can maybe just tell the players, come on, take an extra risk or two and see whether or not we can find that all-important goal and go in at half-time with a healthy lead. So there you go. The Italians playing straight out the back. It's not something you kind of associate with them, but they are doing it. Canare to Benedetto. And again, you see, if I pause here, this is what I'm talking about. It's the perks and downsides of looking to play out the back. So I'm going to do it. Let's remove the man marking as well, which will promote the closing down of the Italian wing backs and hopefully stop them being able. Because what happens is we just end up dropping deeper and deeper, and now that we win the ball back, because of the positioning of our wingers, we can't necessarily spring a counter-attack on them. Now, 30 minutes in, it's not necessarily the end of the world that we've gone down that route, because it's allowed us to get a foot into the game and analyse how the Italians are looking to play. But now that we're trying to push on and grab a goal and get the win, we really need to look towards making a change. As well, we've had a lot of misplaced long balls directly towards King Julian up front. Can we get rid of that? We can. But we give it straight back to him. Okay. Directly towards King Julian up front. Some have been won, some haven't. But I think we're going to have to try, if it's not already set, tell our team instructions to try and aim or exploit the wings rather, more than aiming for Julian precisely. Because he's really struggled to make run-ins behind the Italian back four. But I think based off what we've seen so far, it's been a very, very even game. So they've had 2 shots on target whilst we've had none. I think let's swap these two around. La Cueva will be a little bit more comfortable now down that left-hand side. We'll go shorter passing, but not necessarily look to retain possession. Akete really here is incredibly tired, so he's going to come off. Alvarez is going to become a winger for me out on this right-hand side. In fact, we'll drop them both down onto support, but balance it out with the attacking overall mentality. And Cervera can come on at right back. He's got some real good defensive attributes, and I feel like I trust him at the moment. Well, I mean, I say he's got real good defensive attributes. He's got 11 tackling, which ain't great, but he's good on the ball as well. Basically, probably the best right back we've got in the squad to come on. Well, I mean, actually, Jose Antonio Pino is quite good. You know, he's got the pace, he's got the strength, he's got the ability to tackle. Actually, I think he might be better suited, you know. Yeah, we'll go with Pino. And, yes, we will go from there. I'm thinking, just before we do that, let's take a look at Julian. He's got decent dribbling, this lad. I'm thinking of changing him to more of a deep line forward on attack, because the complete forward was resulting in far too many kind of direct balls heading towards him. But as he drops to deep line forwards, could it be worth sticking our wingers on attack then? We'll start off like this, not bite off more than we can chew. They look like they could be going 2 up front, with the attacking midfielder coming off for... Oh, lovely ball. Can he pull this back? Oh, well. He tried to play it across goal, but it was well caught from Frigo. Yeah, we need to keep an eye out. It doesn't look like 2 up front, but it looks like they kind of swapped that AMC player, did the Italians, in favour of another striker. Oh, what a poor ball there from Antoni. Can't make mistakes like that in a final like this. And now Zanini starts running forward. Canari picks the ball up deep. The pass finds Rama. Coccolo shoots, but he can't hit the target. And the Italians have begun this second half brightly. Antoni, 69%. I think he's going to come off. Raul had a really good game in the last game, so I'm going to give him a shot. Let him come on, really. Osoro is looking tired again, so I think we'll do something similar to what we did in the last game, where we tell him to try and shut down that playmaker-esque style player in front of the back two. And Julian is looking tired. He really is looking tired. It's really a question now of what we ourselves look to do. The only other striker we really have on the pitch is Cerezo, and you know, he's good, but he's not that good, if that makes any sense at all. I'm gonna take a gamble here, and sometimes these kind of gambles pay off, and sometimes they don't. So I'm gonna tell Pino to defend more, and while yes, La Cueva is tired, that's a gamble I'm going to take, and I am going to sub on Cerezo. He's a striker, you know. He wants to be an important player for us in the future. It's about time that he proves it. And as a result of that, we will go slightly more direct. We'll go with a bit of a cheeky swap here. Just because if Hill is on this side, he'll kind of fall back a little bit deeper and maybe help protect the gaps that La Cueva will leave behind. I'm not worried about Roberto there, because as we can see, 15 pace, 17 acceleration is really good for a centre-back, so he should be able to keep up with whatever the Italians throw at him. It's one of them games that is really turning into a little bit of a chess battle. I think one thing that's really given the Italians, if you've spotted that there, a bit of an advantage is the way that they're dedicating one full-back forwards, and that's why we were looking to exploit the left, because that's where they've conceded most of their goals. And we obviously made a change in personnel to try and get players behind that area, but maybe I should have opted to go with... Oh, unlucky. Maybe I should have opted to go with maybe Julian down that left-hand side like he did against France. He could have maybe caused more problems there than down the middle. But here we go. Julian plays a ball onto Cerezo, who's fresh. And if he can get a ball to the back post here, it has to be the opening goal. And Canari, I'm not quite sure who that was, Alvarez, got tackled. And unfortunately, the chance goes begging. The chance goes begging. You know, what's positive is that recently, since making those small tweaks, going 2 up front as well in particular, we have started to look a little bit more lively, and Frigo there looked like he was just about on the verge of letting the ball slip between his fingers. Venuto, he's going to cross the ball into Rama. That was really well played from Italy, and again they've realised that we only have that one single player down that left-hand side. And I think I have an idea as to how we can maybe try and solidify it more. It's this constant battle between yourself as to, do we want to defend, do we want to go for a goal rather. It's really, really difficult. Alvarez with the ball forwards towards Cerezo. Oh, what a tackle that was from Sakaj. Unbelievable last-ditch stuff there from the Italian. Cerezo is onside. Doesn't necessarily have the pace to take the fullback on, but Pino does. Found the head of King Julian, who at the moment is being basically dethroned by the Italian goalkeeper. Keeping the ball well here, and we're getting the ball into the wide areas. We just need to beat the goalkeeper with a cross, and we did there towards the near post. But Cerezo couldn't quite... Oh, it's well cleared from Postorino. Couldn't quite direct it towards the target. The chances are coming now for the Spaniards, but we just can't hit the back of the net. That's our issue. Just look at the amount of shots off target we've had. And a lot of those shots off target haven't been from outside the box. They've been opportunities like that header from within the box. Is a defender going to be the hero? Almost, but not quite. That's why we like having Miguel on the pitch. I'm not quite sure, really, that's offside. I'm not really quite sure, to be honest, why going into the start of this Nations League, we had so many players come with ridiculously poor levels of fitness. I think if there's one thing the Italians have done a little bit better to me here is manage their squad a little bit better in terms of these late substitutions they're making. They are going to have fresher feet, fresher legs on the pitch. But despite that, we are the ones making the chances. We can't hit the target. We've had 9 shots off target. And if maybe we'd worked Frigo a little more, we may have seen one of them hit the back of the net. So there we go. You know, it's things like this that make you kind of feel like, if only they introduced the rule where you get an extra substitution in extra time. We got Julian, who's knackered. Osoro, Hill, Cueva. So Bernardi to Zanini to Canare. Good tackle, and now we need to get that ball wide or to Julian. He needs to hold this up now, not just smash it straight at the Italian defender. See, we're starting to see the types of mistakes that tired players start to do. It affects decision making, it affects, you know, how they do things technically. And both teams here have had so many chances, and you know, neither of us have actually taken them. So Pino towards the head of Julian. Raul to pick the ball up, Hill to La Cueva, and, well, he shoots it against the defender as well. We're trying to really press and close the Italians down from the front here. And that, you know, you can argue that's maybe one of our issues. We wanted to press them, we knew their work rate, their closing down, etc. wasn't really on point, and we knew they were susceptible to kind of making mistakes. Oh, what a save. He keeps us in the game as well, this goalkeeper. Susceptible to making mistakes. But maybe we tired ourselves out, you know, a little early on, and now in extra time we are living to regret it. And I don't know if this is something you guys have noticed, if bloody hell, what kind of tackle was that? If this is something you guys have maybe noticed throughout this International Pentagon Challenge, but you know, I am quite critical of how we do things, and I think one of my that's offside, mate, don't even bother playing that ball. One of my weaknesses over the years has been managing players in games like this where extra time is a factor. I'm really disappointed that we have a midfielder called Raul. I would have loved having a striker called Raul. We have a striker called Julian instead. See La Cueva making a run there. Switch in play. Cerezo is through, but again Postorino. He's probably been the Italian man of the match so far, because he's made at least 3... Like, our man of the match has been our goalkeeper, and the Italian man of the match has probably been Postorino, because he's made so many chance saving tackles for them. I'm going to make a slight modification here and go to low crosses. Just see if maybe that small element can help us unlock the Italian defence. And again, we kick the ball straight at a defender. And apparently there's no foul. Okay, it goes out of play though. Tell the lads to concentrate. We can't. Roberto picks it up, finds La Cueva. La Cueva is knackered, bless him. He's still somehow managing to, oh no, make his way up the pitch. Rama is through on goal, and Villanova saves. Oh, I can't even click properly anymore. The nerves are starting to come in, I'm not going to lie. I think the Italians have probably just about edged extra time, which we kind of expected we kind of expected due to the fact that they are a lot fitter than us at the moment. Okay, we are going a little bit more direct now in terms of our passing. Let's try and transition a little bit quicker like this. And get in! Pedro Cerezo has just hit the back of the net. Totally undeserved, but a goal is a goal with 4 minutes left on the clock. Right, okay. We know what to do from here, don't we, boys? So, tighten up. Even here, we don't need to dedicate this many players forward, but it's not going to matter. Carlos Gil, I said I wanted a goal from him, and we got it. And that is what you get when you manage the Spaniards. I'm not going to lie. I said it in the last episode. Some of our performances managing this Spanish side haven't exactly been as glamorous as some of the performances we maybe... Look at it wasting time. As some of the glamorous performances we maybe saw as the Egyptian manager, or as we maybe saw managing Mexico. You know, Mexico, we played some great football. But often we lacked an end product. Whilst here with Spain, we've had a tough time. We've come in, we've tried one tactical approach. We had a really shaky start against England, but we've shown that we got character. We've shown that, you know, we've got a capable manager that can also change things around tactically, but also not just a manager. There I am, look at me, beautiful. Not just a manager who's obviously capable of making tactical changes, but a team in general who are capable of still somehow grinding out results like this. We ground out the result against England. We've grinded out a result against Italy here. And I think it would have been a much more even second half of extra time, or, well, extra time in general, if our players weren't so tired. And I feel like going into these last two games, I've been dealt a really weird hand, because I looked at the AI teams and their players' condition was fine. So it's not like it's a result of my training or anything like that, because you don't worry about anything to do with training and stuff when you're an international manager. But anyways, well done, boys. We've won our first bit of silverware as the manager of España. Viva España. And I guess, you know, we've got a bit of a monopoly here going on the Nations League. But hey, I don't care. It's going to go down in history as something I have won, and I think our reputation may have taken a small boost there. I think when we first took the Spanish job, we were 3.5 stars or 3.25 stars. We're now approaching the all-important 4-star mark at the age of 42. I don't really notice any specific changes in our attributes, other than I don't remember youngster knowledge being 15. And I certainly don't think my motivating has always been 18. So those are some quite nice increases. And yeah, as we can see, how can we see this? Our career milestones are starting to look pretty sexy. It's not the Euros that we won with Spain, but we've given ourselves a reputation boost. We've cemented ourselves as a manager capable of achieving results in Europe. And if it does go pear-shaped for us with Spain in the future, then you never know. We might be able to take on the Italians, take on the French. You know, it's all about looking at these kind of things from a long-term perspective. But yeah, we have some friendlies coming up. We have a lot of World Cup qualifiers that, to be honest, I don't think you guys are really going to be interested in. You know, against teams like Northern Ireland, Austria, Kosovo and Norway. So I'm not quite sure when the next episode is going to be. All I know is that this weekend I'm going to have to binge a lot of Football Manager, as well as try and watch the World Cup in real life. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, buzz in with that win, and as always, thanks for watching.